Hey guys, welcome to the ICD-10 PCS coding series. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe and follow the playlist from the beginning so that you understand all the root operations thoroughly. I'm Vinay Kumar. I carry an overall experience of 20 years in the US healthcare industry with vast experience in coding, auditing, training, and mentoring. I have helped many coding professionals in gaining knowledge and preparing for medical coding certifications also. I'm dual certified from both AHIMA and also the AAPC with both the CCS and the CPC certifications. And I have a lot of knowledge in all the verticals of the revenue cycle management. At the end of this learning session, we will have a better understanding of coding, the root operation, dilation from the fifth group of root operations. We will also look at an example from the medical and surgical section of the ICD-10 PCS. And remember, this medical and surgical section is the most important and the largest section in the PCS coding system. Now, there are a total of 31 root operations in the medical and surgical section alone, and these root operations are divided into 9 groups based on similar kinds of procedure placed in similar groups. Today, we are looking at the fifth group, which talks about root operations that alter the diameter or route of a tubular body part. Now, there are 4 root operations in the fifth group: restriction, occlusion, dilation, and bypass. We already spoke about restriction and occlusion in the previous video. Now, today we are talking about the root operation dilation, which carries a character value of 7. Now, remember, root operations are the most important aspect of building an ICD-10 PCS code. And remember that root operations always define the objective or the goal of the procedure. Now, by definition, dilation is defined as expanding an orifice or the lumen of a tubular body part. The orifice can be natural or artificially created. The dilation procedure is accomplished usually by stretching a tubular body part using intraluminal pressure or by cutting part of the orifice or wall of the tubular body part. These are a few examples of procedures which are coded under the root operation dilation. Percutaneous transluminal angioplasty, percutaneous transluminal coronary angioplasty with a stent, laryngeal stenosis dilation, or dilation of the common bile duct. These are a few examples. Now, the root operation dilation is actually coded when the objective of the procedure is to enlarge the diameter of a tubular body part or orifice. Remember this specifically, enlarging a tubular body part. Dilation includes both intraluminal and extraluminal methods, which are used in enlarging the diameter. A device which is placed to maintain the new diameter, which means once the tubular body part is expanded or enlarged, to maintain it, okay, there could be devices that are placed during this procedure. So these devices are an integral part of the dilation procedure, and you will usually code them as a device in the sixth character value of the PCS code. So these are all devices which are used as part of the dilation procedure. In ICD-10 PCS, the classification of the coronary arteries specifically is described as a single body part. This is one important point you'll need to remember when you're coding for procedures which are done on the coronary arteries. It doesn't matter how many coronary arteries are treated, like for example, right coronary artery, left anterior descending, or left circumflex, different coronary arteries. The actual distinguishing factor is the number of sites that were treated that will decide the body part. Okay, and angioplasty and stent placement are a great example of dilation procedures, all PTCAs. angioplasties as stent placements. Usually, during percutaneous transluminal coronary angioplasties, PTCA procedures, the narrowed or obstructed blood vessel is mechanically widened. Okay, typically a collapsed balloon on a guide wire. So they insert a catheter through a femoral artery approach, place a guide wire into it, and from there they manipulate it all the way into the coronary artery. Okay, they introduce a collapsed balloon first. Once the balloon is in the right place, they inflate the balloon so that the narrowing is like expanded. Whatever narrowing is there in the blood vessel, that is expanded. Okay. Now, in these cases, sometimes a stent is also passed through this balloon. So this balloon actually crushes the fatty deposits, and then the balloon is collapsed and removed. When a device or a stent is placed during this same PTCA through the balloon, this device or stent is identified by the sixth character. So there may be devices involved in certain cases, and there may not be any devices in certain cases. This is specifically for PTCAs or dilation procedures on the coronary arteries. Now, this is a example of coding the root operation dilation. Now, this example has almost 4 or 5 procedures. Let's look at it. A 64-year-old man is admitted for a left heart catheterization. That's one procedure. Coronary angiography of multiple coronary arteries. That's a second procedure. And left ventriculography. This is another procedure. Using low osmolar contrast, findings from these procedures resulted in the decision to perform a percutaneous transluminal coronary angioplasty or a PTCA of 2 separate lesions in the left anterior descending artery. One lesion was treated with a drug-eluting stent. This is one procedure. And the other lesion was treated with a PTCA only. This is another one. So overall, I'm looking at 5 procedures. Okay. So this is a very good example where multiple codes are required, and that too from different sections of the ICD-10 PCS. If you look at it carefully, the left heart catheterization is coded from the measurement and monitoring section, which starts with 4 as the first character. The coronary angiography and the left ventriculography is coded from the imaging section, and which starts with the first character B. And then the PTCA of the 2 lesions is coded from the medical and surgical section, which starts with 0. So a total of 5 codes would be required to complete this particular scenario. Let's look at each of these individually. So the first code for the left heart catheterization. Okay, in this case, the section is measurement and monitoring, because the heart catheterization is done to perform, to identify the amount of pressure and collect samples from the left heart, usually the left ventricle. Okay, so the first code for the left heart catheterization, the section would be measurement and monitoring. Body system would be physiological systems. Root operation is measurement. Fourth character here is the body system again, which is cardiac. Remember, this is a different section. Okay, this is not medical and surgical. Approach is percutaneous because it's a catheter-based procedure. Okay, usually the catheter is placed through the femoral artery puncture. The sixth character in this section would be function, which is sampling and pressure in our case for the left heart catheterization. And the seventh character identifies the left heart as the site of the catheter endpoint. So this is for the left heart catheterization. So the code would be 4A023N7. Now, the second code is for the left ventriculography. The section is imaging, B. Body system is heart. The root type is fluoroscopy. Fourth character here identifies the left heart as the body part. And then the fifth character identifies the type of contrast used, which is low osmolar in this case. Sixth and seventh characters in this section are both qualifiers, which are none. So the code for the left ventriculography would be B2, 1, and then the left heart, which is 5, low osmolar 1, Z, and Z. Now talking about the third code, this is for coronary angiography of multiple coronary arteries. The section is imaging, body system is heart, root type is fluoroscopy. Fourth character here identifies multiple coronary arteries, which is 1. Fifth character identifies the contrast type, which is low osmolar, 1 again. Sixth and seventh characters in this section are both qualifiers, which are none. So the code would be B2 1 1 1 Z and Z. This is the third code. Now the fourth code is for the actual PTCA. Okay, so dilation of the first lesion along with the stent placement is what we are trying to code. Section is medical and surgical. Body system is heart and great vessels. Root operation is dilation. Fourth character here identifies one coronary artery because stent was placed only in one coronary artery. Fifth character is percutaneous. Sixth character, that's for the approach. Sixth character identifies the drug-eluting stent and this stent, which is 4 because it's a single stent. And the seventh character is Z, which is no qualifier. So the code for the PTCA of the lesion with a stent is 0, 2, 7, 0, 3, 4, and Z. And the last but not the least, the fifth code for this procedure is angioplasty or the PTCA of a lesion without any stent. So the section would be medical and surgical. Uh, Body system would be heart and great vessels. Then the root operation would be dilation. Okay, because only one vessel is being treated without a lesion. And the approach would be percutaneous. The device in this case would be no device because there is no stent involved, and then the qualifier would be Z. Okay, so the code would be 0, 2, 7, 0, 3, Z and Z. This is the fifth code for this procedure. So overall, these are the codes that are required for this case. The first code for the left heart catheterization, second code for left ventriculography, third code is for coronary angiography of multiple coronary arteries, fourth is for the stent, the PTCA with the stent, fifth is for the PTCA without any stent. So the key points to remember from this video. During an angioplasty procedure, if multiple areas are treated, coding depends on how many areas received a stent and how many did not. And all areas with a stent require one code and all areas without a stent require another code where the device value is none. Remember that the body part value is also selected based on the same theory of stent versus no stent. So you'll find the online version of the ICD-10 PCS coding manual from this link that is provided by CMS. I have also placed the description, the link of the video in the description. Once you get to this link, click on the zip file which contains the code tables and index and you'll find the PDF from there. Thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel, guys. I really hope these videos help everyone in learning ICD-10 PCS and inpatient concepts. I have a lot more videos lined up for all outpatient and also inpatient. I will be starting with the CPT and ICD-10 CM coding videos as well, and a lot of inpatient and outpatient payment methodologies and other prospective payment systems as well. Thank you.